So question number 1. I've never played any instruments before and I want to start now. I'm 20 years old and my expectations for playing proficiently are low. What advice do you have for a late instrument learner like me?
Give up.
Yeah, give up. You know what? 20 years old,
play.
like you're basically on your way to the grave.
You might as well spend the next 60 to 70 years sleeping.
So yeah, let me put this out there
Obviously,
right away.
I'm lying for cultures that don't get sarcasm.
20 years old is not late for basically anything other than becoming an Olympic level figure skater. Or maybe like an Olympic level most athletics. But here's the thing, and I think a lot of people get tripped up here. They look at people who are at an Olympic level, or they're at like, you know, top tier, best in the world concert pianist or concert band level or whatever it is. And they look at those people, learn that they have been learning, you know, their instrument or their sport since 5 years old, 2 years old, whatever it may be. And then they automatically assume, oh, it's too late for me. But those people represent 0.0001% of not only the world's population, but the world's population of practitioners in whatever it is you're interested in. So it's kind of folly to look at the top performers out of everyone in a discipline and disqualify yourself simply because you did not start at the same time they did.
Yeah, you're not Beethoven, so you're not good enough to play. I mean, I don't think the assumption that you can't become skilled after a childhood is nearly as simple as it sounds. Like, it sounds like, oh, yep, too late. That makes sense. But I think that a lot of it is just because as kids, we are very good at focusing because we don't have any responsibilities. We don't have to do anything.
There's nothing else you got to do.
We have tons of time, and all of those years of you doing it through childhood are extra years. Like, I can't put as much time into something unless I try to as an adult as I would have accidentally as a child.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, so it would be great if I had started playing piano at 10 years old. That would mean I would have 17 years of experience if I was actually diligent with it.
Yeah.
Though I can actually apply that. There's a parallel there. I can apply that to guitar because I got my first guitar at 11 years old and I was not diligent for 16 years of my life. It was more like I would occasionally pick it up and noodle around for 5 minutes and then put it back down because I was not disciplined at all.
Yeah.
Until maybe about a year and a half ago when I finally bought a new guitar. My first one was stolen in college. And I started spending an hour a day sometimes playing. But, you know, going back to the piano thing, it would be great if I had started at 10 because I would have 17 years of experience now. But if I start now, then at 54 years old, I will have 17 years of experience. And you know what? I'm going to be 54 years old. And
you'll be happy you started now.
Yeah, current me doesn't care about 54-year-old Thomas. But someday I'm going to be 54-year-old Thomas. I'm going to be like, sure glad I started at 27 instead of now.
Yeah, because if you don't start it now, then, well, now you've got to wait for 55-year-old Thomas to have that much experience.
Exactly.
And every year you mess it up, and it gets later and later. And
you know what? 55-year-old Thomas is probably going to start something else.
Yeah.
And 70-year-old Thomas will be very happy he did.
Yeah. And also, I think that the assumption that, like, what do you even mean by playing proficiently? Because the assumption that you need to be world-class in order to enjoy something isn't true at all. Like, I think instruments in particular, music brings joy. Can you learn?
Just doing it.
You can guaranteed learn enough to enjoy it at like any age.
I mean, sitting down with an hour of practice.
It doesn't take that long to become enjoyable. You were messing around with the Kingdom Hearts thing, and it still sounds good already.
And I mean, you know, there's some skill that I bring over from guitar, and I want to talk about skill transfer, but it's like day 4 of me playing, and I can play at least the first 8 measures of that song decently well. And like, it's a very simple song. You know, it's not anything that is going to win any awards, but I get a lot of joy from playing.
Yeah, you're not like, yeah, but the thing is, this is garbage and I feel like garbage. It's still fun already. It was immediately fun.
So something that's very useful for me is I immediately acknowledge that there are top performers who I will never beat, right? Like, who's the guy? Liszt, L-I-Z-S-T, the like best piano player in the world, or the Mozart, or anybody, or any of those like, you know, virtuoso pianists on YouTube. I will never be that good, and that's okay. So like I think the fact like just the deliberate acknowledgement of the fact that there will always be better people than you and that the joy of playing is what you're really going for is helpful. Because I think this is what stops people sometimes. They see people who are further ahead and they're like, I'm never going to get there. But you're not trying to catch up with those people. You're just trying to do this for you.
Yeah, just say it's okay for somebody to be better in some way. And then you're allowed to do it to whatever degree you wanted.
Yeah, especially in music, right? Like, okay, if you're
Yeah,
trying
this
to
is
be
a
like
super subjective topic.
if you're trying to be like the top paid lawyer in your town for some reason, there's already like a lawyer who gets all the clients. Okay, maybe you got to like play catch up and work really hard to steal some clients, but like you don't have to steal music from anybody. You just make your own. Like there's always more room in the world for music. Now maybe there's not as much attention to go around, but there's still room in the world for creation of it, and that's what should matter.